Awesome. There we go. I cannot wait to get these new hats in, bro. We got the old school ones right now.
Oh yeah.
Gonna get those new hats looking fly. Try to get those. I'm telling you, if we can get those today, Instagram, then we're gonna be set. Um, let's see if we got that. Let's turn this down. Can you check if we're good over there?
Oh yeah.
We sound good?
Let's see.
I got my volume turned down over here.
Oh yeah.
Sounding good?
Sounds good.
All right. And we're all set, everybody. We're live over on multiple platforms today, more than we even normally are. So we're rocking and rolling on this side. Thank you all very much for joining us here on the Patrick Carr Show. We got another great episode for you. As always, Anthony is behind the camera over here.
Hello, everyone.
Man, you're getting better at it, man.
Yeah,
I'll
see?
tell you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. Not just a hey or whatever it is. Listen, everybody, if it's your first time joining us, man, we try to make this show interesting for you, tell you some of the great news that is going on across the country, but we want to try to put our own spin on it because we want to bring you the things that nobody else is talking about. And, or at least if they are, we at least want to try to give you an angle that isn't bought and paid for by somebody. This show is not bought and paid for by anyone. Hey, man, we do it because we love doing it for y'all. So we appreciate all the support. I got to tell you, Anthony, this first one caught my eye because it's a local story to a small area of Florida that if you're not watching in Florida, don't worry. I'm telling you, you're going to want to listen to this. It is in Mount Dora. It's in Central Florida, everybody. And let me tell you, there is a monkey on the loose. And these are not monkeys that you want to mess around with, Anthony. They carry diseases, okay, and serious ones. Let's just put it that way. But what I really caught my eye was I started researching where they saw this monkey, Anthony. It's at this place called the Lakeside Inn in Mount Dora, of all places. Now, have you heard of this place?
No, I don't think so.
The longest running inn in the state of Florida, which, think about this, has the oldest city in the country in St. Augustine. All right. So you've got this Lakeside Inn that's been there since the 1930s. Back in 1883, when it opened, you had people like Calvin Coolidge, who was president, who would spend a month there. Edison came there and actually stayed. Henry Ford stayed there. Underneath the lobby, they've got a big vault that was there for Prohibition, a big speakeasy that was developed back then that's been closed off since then. So literally, there is a trap door in the lobby of this place that goes down to a Prohibition speakeasy.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty freaking legit, and we're just getting started with this place, okay? Here's where it actually gets good. I mean, I'm telling you, this place is awesome, all right? Just 7 miles away from this place, you got Mount Plymouth. Now, legend has it, bro, Al Capone himself used to set up shop there, okay? Fly his plane straight into the hotel's private airstrip. He checked into one room, room 264. And as the story goes, the Chicago mob quietly poured a crap ton of money into this area. Capone's own bookkeeper supposedly stayed there in a house that Capone bought. The house is still standing today. And get this, the pool has been covered in cement.
Oh,
Wonder why,
yeah.
right? Okay. Now, as legend goes, all right, the reason was because Capone was wanting to stay basically in the swamps at that time. It was nothing back then. And he knew, hey, listen, you want to come for me down here? Good luck with that one, everybody. All right. He had lookouts on these lake houses that are all scattered throughout Mount Dora, like the lakes and everything. And that's how he was able to move in and out of Florida. There's supposedly this like big meeting that Capone and Coolidge, president and then Capone, big gangster, have on the front lawn of this hotel. There is so much history about this thing right here. I mean, as I'm reading it right here, it's just unbelievable. Supposedly, there are tunnels that go from that house over to the hotel that go underneath the ground where the bookkeeper was staying. And then that one fact, like you got this pool that for some reason somebody ended up filling up with concrete, and nobody has ever decided to look what's in there.
Dang, that's crazy. I gotta check this place out.
Place is pretty cool, man.
Dude, we should do a live stream there.
We need to go down to the Lakeside Inn in Mount Dora. Now, I'm going to tell you there are some. I can this honestly, Anthony, I'm gonna tell you what, there was so much more as I looked at this place, I was in shock. There is stuff like a huge bank vault that was built by Capone that was supposedly a safe house for him in the event that they ever caught up with him there. There's all sorts of legends that surround this lakeside inn built in it opened in 1883. You can still go there and stay right now. Like it's right on the lake, beautiful, right there in Mount Dora. You can walk from there over to downtown Mount Dora. Which listen, let me tell you what, folks. Again, if you're not from Florida, imagine like this beautiful old town that during Christmas they like put up all the lights around downtown. It looks like something straight out of like a Hallmark movie when Christmas time rolls around, or any holiday for that matter. It's got the big lamp post and they put the stuff around the
Yeah.
lamp post. It's great. And then you've got this lakeside inn with all of its history just sitting right off to the side, couple hundred yards. You can go there, stay right on the lake. It's from what I understand, looking at it, not exactly what you would call like luxury, but very old school luxury. I'm talking about like those burnt wood floors and like the wood, like that kind of, I don't know. It looks like kind of something straight out of the Titanic, like the
Oh,
inside of
yeah.
that. When I was looking at the pictures of this thing, I'm like, okay, I can get why someone comes here. Now they got monkey problems. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they got monkeys rolling around this place. And for those of you who are from Florida, you know the kind of monkeys I'm talking about. You can go to Silver Springs.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I think Silver Springs where they had the glass bottom boats back in the day.
Yeah.
Or they still do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
It's-
glass bottom, really cool actually. Glass bottom boats where you can like see the manatees swim underneath you. But there's monkeys
Oh, yeah.
all around the trees. You don't screw around with these monkeys. All right. These monkeys carry some bad diseases. They bite you, you're screwed. Let me tell you, they may look cute and all that stuff, but you don't want to screw with these things. And so when I was reading this story, I first of all got caught up in the monkey situation, right? I'm like, great, you're going to have somebody out there visiting this lakeside inn, laying out by the pool, and they're just going to get one of these monkeys that's just going to jump on these things, and jump on this person just sunbathing. But really, man, when I got into it, this place is crazy. And like I said, I'm only touching the tip of the iceberg here. There's ghost stories about this
Oh,
place. There's all sorts of rumors about what's underneath it, how Capone moved from one room to the other. There is all sorts of cool stuff about this lakeside inn. So listen, if you're somebody who likes like ghost hunting or you love history and you don't live in Florida or you do, or maybe you're just a big Al Capone gangster fan, this is a place where you need to go check out. There's a lot of cool stuff right here, bro.
I love that. That's honestly, Mount Dora is doing a great with like his all of its historic sites and stuff like that, keeping it, making it fun for people like compared to like Orlando. They
Stop. Stop. I know what you're doing. I know what you're
I
freaking doing. Yes,
but,
Orlando's getting rid of their historic sites. We voted 4-2 last
but
night.
maybe they need the mayor of Mount Dora to come over here and fix Orlando.
You know
Make it
what?
cool.
Anybody could do a better job than what we're doing in Orlando right now.
Yeah.
But I see what you're doing right there. That was wrong. That was bad, man. That was
I-
wrong. For
I-
those of you maybe you just joined the show, we've been having a debate, Anthony and I, about the city of Orlando. And last night they did vote 4-2 to end the preservation rules that have governed the city for over 18 years. And thus they now are paving the way for what I call progress and Anthony calls getting rid of history. Where hopefully we'll have more opportunities to take some bulldozers to downtown and knock down some of these historical buildings that have been impeding the progress and keeping our city down. Now, Anthony disagrees with me. I know you believe it's the crappy leadership that we have, and I agree with you there. I listen, you'll get no argument from me on this one, but what I will say is that anything that we can do for the worst run downtown in all of America to actually bring small businesses back is the way to go.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm gonna get off track because you know I am. I'm talking
Oh.
about the monkeys though right now. Okay, we're talking about this cool place in Mount Dora, Lakeside Inn. So I mean, Thomas Edison, Ford, Coolidge, Capone. I mean, we got the mob, we got presidents, we got like people. I mean, titans of industry coming to this place. And why are people not flocking to the history that this thing's got?
How come I didn't even know about that? This is cool.
This is pretty legit. Again, monkey problem aside, okay? This place is bad, bro. People need to get over to the Lakeside Inn. I really love this one, okay?
I was gonna say, funny story about monkeys.
Tell me.
When I was a kid, me and my mom and my dad went to Nicaragua and like my mom that was the first time my mom went out of the country to, like, a third world country. The second or first day, one of the days, she got bit by a monkey. Like, there was
Really?
yeah, so there's a restaurant that had, like, monkeys, like, hanging on a tree or something, and so they were feeding my mom was feeding her, like, the monkey a banana, and, like, the monkey came up and ate the banana and then started, like, grabbing on my mom, like, her purse and stuff like that. She was trying to back away, and then, like, the monkey bit on her, like, hand and stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, so it's like, so she was freaking out because she was like, "Oh my god, I gotta go to the hospital," but she's like, "I'm in a third world country, what am I gonna do?" Like, all this stuff, and so we wrapped her up, and she was, like, freaking out that we're gonna go to, like, a barn for, like, this hospital to get, like, stitches, and we go over to this, like, hill, there's, like, all these, like, shacks and stuff like that, and then there's, like, this seven-story, beautiful, like, n new built hospital right there, like, she's like, "What the heck is this?"
Shoot.
And we got stitches and everything for, like, $70.
So that's American healthcare versus there, you know what I mean? She was all right?
Oh, yeah, she was alright, she didn't get
Oh.
anything, sir.
Can you make sure this camera's in focus? I think I'm out.
Yeah, it's glitching out, what the heck is it?
Is it glitching out?
Yeah, it's like trying to get the bull's eye and the
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You wanna zoom out on us?
Let's see.
You can always zoom back in if you wanna get me.
What if I do
You just move the Bulls guy. Oh, there you go. That's a good idea. Is that all right?
Pretty good now.
Well, look at that, everybody. I don't know if we're going to be able to get our last story in there now if we were out of focus, but we'll see. So we're going to move on to our next story, everyone. And this one is going to be, well, it's from a CNN report of all things, okay? And if you haven't checked it out, it just dropped yesterday. CNN is running a story about saving men. Now, what they did is they went out to a 5-day retreat in California. We good?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right. So they went out to a 5-day retreat in California, something called a man camp, Anthony. Men go there for, stress relief, to deal with grief. All of that sounds good. But let me tell you what, it cost over $5,000 for someone to go, and it's ran by a bunch of women. So basically, the way CNN framed this thing is that this is basically everything against the manosphere. This is against, the patriarchy that we have going on inside of the US. And it said that for every 5 men who walk into this camp, tens of millions of other men are watching people like Andrew Tate and these other guys who are, what the enemy they say that it is. They're trying to say the vulnerability is good and that while camps like this are a step in the right direction per se, that the alpha male is back with vengeance and that individual is the problem. Now, it's interesting as you watch this story, Anthony, because you can kind of see that the people that into this thing kind of thinking that this was going to be a joke, right? And I'll be honest, I think that it is.
Mhm.
But you can see that some of these guys were genuinely hurting in the story. One of them had lost a partner through a divorce. The other had lost, I believe, their father. And all they were doing what I would call non-manly, let's say, not traditionally non-manly activities. Okay, like yoga and breath activities, right here in the middle of wine country in California. I think that when CNN went into it, they thought joke, joke, but then they saw, hey, you know what? These guys are actually trying to improve themselves. And we do not like this whole, I don't know, man's man thing because we're maybe on the far left and we lean that way. So maybe this is a decent thing that guys are trying to do. Um, and you can kind of see this shift as the story goes into how these individuals were looking at men. Um, I want to talk about this trend that we see, Anthony, because this is one of these many what I'd call man camps that are going on. Any guy that has logged into Instagram for more than a week who's between the ages of, let's say, 30 and 50, you've seen these kind of camps advertised. Some of them have a more, let's say, religious perspective to them. Others of them are just more of a, "Hey, do a bunch of physical activity, get around a bunch of dudes, shoot some guns, barbecue some, and feel like a guy again." This one that, of course, CNN decides they're gonna go to is a yoga retreat that costs a bunch of money inside of wine country, and in my opinion, paints a lot of these things in a bad light,
Mhm.
because I believe there is value in these camps that guys can go to, but I believe that it speaks to a deeper issue that we have in America, which is that for the most part, men are lonely. And we've talked about this on the show many times, that the purpose for men is disappearing in this country. Men right now are starving for purpose every day, and a lot of them don't know where to find it. And so they want it, they know they need it, but it's like, where do I go? How do I find it? Who can I trust and talk to? In a world where there are so many people that are actors out there that want to be influencers, that want to take you on and you pay them $1,000 a month and they'll teach you through their program how to be a man. There are so many of those that are happening that what we have is a world of confused men out there, and you have these camps popping up because of it. Um, I'm very I have never been to one. Wouldn't be against going to something like that, but most of the ones that I've seen have been biblically based, and for me, that's not gonna be where I find the most value right there. Um, and I don't think that a couple of days out in the wilderness with a bunch of dudes is going to truly change who you are as a man. What I do believe changes somebody is when they find work that is meaningful. When you find something that gives you purpose every day to come in and say, I think I'm making a difference in the world, right? I think I'm doing something for somebody that I love to make their life better. I think I'm bringing joy to other people. I think I'm somehow adding value. And for so many men, that's what they really want. They want value in this world, and they want to feel like they're valuable. And so I worry a little bit when I see stories about these camps that what it does is it makes somebody feel important for a short period of time and then drops them back off into a regular environment and says, "Go, okay, that was fun. You feel like you're hyped up and on a motivational level, but you've got no tools to get out there and to be able to compete in the real world."
Yeah, it almost feels like, almost giving a person a fish and versus, like, a fishing pole,
Mhm.
where it's like they might just get that fish with that relief for that period of time, but then there's not that motivation that can keep them going and just keep them going on the whole time and just keep getting that fish, get that relief, and get that happiness. I feel like they're losing that motivation.
You don't need to give $5,000 to somebody to go out there and sit there and do yoga and breath exercises.
$5,000.
5,000 bucks. If I
Crazy.
and honestly, I probably thought that was probably a cheaper one that they went to. I'm sure there's one that are way in excess of that. If you think what some of these rehab things cost,
Yeah.
people are willing to pay a lot of money, all right, um, to feel better about themselves or to feel like they have the one thing that they're missing, which is purpose.
Mhm.
Listen, like the reason that a guy who is a trash collector can get up and feel happy about his day, or a guy who builds tables for a living can get up and feel like he has joy, while another man who's making millions of dollars goes to his company and wants to jump out the window. It's because one of them feels as though they have purpose in life. One of them feels like they're truly making a difference. Um, and I think that that's where a lot of men, if they sit down and they go, "Why am I so unhappy right now?" It's not because you haven't done enough workouts or yoga or you don't have a six pack. Either a couple of things have happened. You've lost the purpose. Um, you have these expectations for yourself that have not been met. Comparison is the thief of joy, and you're comparing yourself to others and feeling as though you are less valuable based on something like money or clout, pride. Um, these are things that will rob joy from men. And when I think about these retreats, I would challenge a guy to go, hold on, before I go do this, what's my purpose in life? Have I found it right now? And if you haven't found that purpose that you're looking for right now, before you go, maybe ask yourself that question.
Yeah. We got a we got a comment. Do you think the current dating market and use of dating apps, in addition to many things, is negatively affecting places like downtown Orlando?
It's a very unique question. Dating apps affecting downtown Orlando.
Mhm.
Let's dive into it, Anthony, because I love the question. Um, never thought about it from this perspective. Okay. So when I think about dating apps right now, yes, the answer to your question is yes, and I believe it's affecting a lot of areas, like even restaurants or other metropolitan areas, because what happens is there used to be something in a guy that's innate to go out there and hunt. All right. We may not like to think about it that way, but you want to go find a partner, right? And if you were single and you wanted to go out, you'd go to these places and you'd find new drinks and you'd buy a drink and you'd approach a girl, and that's how you did it. Now, that's not like 30 years ago. We're talking like 10 years ago. That's how it would work more often. But now, because of the availability of dating apps, and there are so many paired with hookup type apps that are out there right now, you don't have to go out to these places to find somebody that you want to spend time with. You can sit there in your room or sit there at work. You can bypass that and you can go straight to what the goal or the prize was if you went out. So I think that there are less singles that are going out to these places. And let's be honest, a single guy out there, a single dude has got a few bucks, he's spending some money, all right? He's running up a $300 bar tab out there, which now he's not having to be forced to run up. I think that's a very unique perspective to take, and I can see how that would negatively affect bars, clubs, entertainment districts right now, especially one like downtown Orlando, which isn't gonna be a popular date spot, but would be a popular spot for groups of guys and gals to go out if they were looking for a partner.
I think too. So used to be downtown had some really nice restaurants, fancy restaurants. Now I don't even want to take my girl to downtown because
If you want to.
it's just it's not the type of place that she would want to go to. She'd be like, "Oh, this is there's a lot of
Yeah,
crime, not anything that I would want to go."
I agree, and, like, there's, like, a one steakhouse downtown,
Yeah,
and then I think, like, the Grambo has a nice place over there you can go to and have
yeah, the
dinner
Grand
over there.
Bohemian. Yeah,
Yeah, Grand Bohemian's got something that's nice. There's that one steakhouse on Church Street, I can never remember the name of it.
is it the H or no?
No, what is the name of that darn restaurant? Can you look up on the Church Street?
Yeah, let's see.
We're gonna move on to our next story, everybody, and we're talking about something that we've mentioned on this show before. It is disturbing to both Anthony and I. Did you know that since September, the United States has blown up more than 60 boats at sea and killed over 200 people, and yet nobody seems to want to talk about this? There were two more strikes that happened in the last week, one on June 18th, one on June the 21st. Now, these people are dead. We're dropping these drone bombs on top of these speedboats, and all we're saying is that these people are narco terrorists. We don't know who they are. We don't know what they were doing or where they were going or what's on the boat, and we never do. Anthony, we dove into this. There have been over 200 people that, in fact, have been killed. All right. We could only identify our research that we were able to look at across many 19 of those people out of the 200. There is one actual instance where we bombed the boat. I mean this, and you can see the people hanging onto the boat. We did it again.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? Why is nobody asking questions about the fact that we don't have a clue who these people are or what they're doing? But yet somewhere, and we looked at it right here, there is one individual, all right? I'm going back here. There's one individual that is making the call, and he is the one that is saying, put the bomb on these people. I'm going to go back up because I believe it is important that I go ahead and I talk about who this individual is, because I think that this is something worth looking at. I want to see here. Let's see. Is it okay? I want to tell you Pearson right here. Because one, so forgive me here, everybody. I want to go back and look at our research, but there is one general who is making this call right now. And then, of course, it goes up through the rankings. But they are bombing these speedboats, and nobody seems to understand why, except that we're being told they are trafficking fentanyl and other drugs into the country. Okay. Now, here's my thought. If we know that's what they're doing, and we can see that that's what they're doing, Why are we not sending a Navy ship out there to intercept these people, arrest them, get the drugs, get more information, and then conduct an investigation? We have no idea what's going on. And if you're someone like me, none of it makes sense. Who knows who's on these boats? Is it an American citizen that's out there? Is it anybody who's innocent who maybe was forced to get on that boat because, hey, listen, we're going to put you on there hoping they don't bomb us? At what point do we say, hey, government, you can't just go around bombing people? Now, what they're saying is that this is part of a war that is ongoing right now with the cartels. And because the cartels are armed, they are in a war with us, and therefore we have the right for the military to bomb them. In the middle of the Pacific, like in the middle of the ocean, what threat is that person facing right now to the United States? And now, for those people who say they're bringing drugs into the United States, which can hurt somebody, cool. And shouldn't we go ahead and stop that boat and give them an opportunity to defend themselves? Shouldn't we understand why these people are being forced to do it? I want you to really think about this, folks. You don't know what's going on the other side. You don't ever want to think about the position that a human is being moved without their consent. Let's put it that way. I'm going to say it the correct way. And what if they're on that boat? Does their life not matter?
Yeah, they all need to like have the day in court at least.
Yes.
Have something going on where we can figure out if they actually have drugs on these boats and not hypothetically like, oh yeah, they do, and bomb them and we don't even know. This doesn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Get this. This is what everyone here should just stop and listen to this. 2 U.S. senators, one from each party. They revealed that the targeting did not even depend on whether the boat had drugs or weapons aboard. By the own government's admission, our own government, they do not have to find drugs to fire the missile. They are doing this completely on their opinion of what is going on, whatever their intel tells them, but they have no requirement to tell the American people what was on these boats and why they did what they did. It's just what they wanted to do. We don't know anything about these boats. And people, whether you believe these people are bad or good, every human life does matter. And I don't like the fact that 200 people have just been blown off the earth because somebody felt like that was a threat to the United States in the middle of the Pacific. I don't know. We should demand more. There has to be accountability. And I really think about the people in this world that are moved against their own will. Think about that. That may be being moved on one of these boats that have they're innocent. And our country is sitting there going, drone up in the air, drop it on them. Okay, we proved our point. To who? Do you think they're going to stop now that that's happened? Or do you think they're going to take it and go, do this or else? That's what they're going to continue to do. You've got to stop the problem. You've got to understand where these people are coming from and why they're doing what they're doing. And the best way that we can do that is to stop, gather information, and then begin to move forward. Not simply dropping bombs and then praising our government when they tell us that we have these narco terrorists. According to who? Where is the proof? And there is zero being given to the American people right now.
Yeah, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And yeah, with these with what that senator is saying too, if there could be drugs on that boat, there couldn't be drugs on this boat, which whatever. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That tells me that there's probably some boats that they bombed that didn't have drugs on the boat. They're saying that now.
Who's checking this stuff? We're bombing a boat, and then what's happening? What do you think's happening to the boat, everybody? It's sinking to the bottom of the ocean. All right. No one's going out there to go, hey, let's go and take a look at this wreck and this crash. No, there's not. There's zero accountability to what's happened out there. And there's not going to be any survivors. All right. I mean, if you watch these videos, they are disturbing because, of course, grainy black and white footage. I don't know what it would take for our government to go ahead and invest in a camera that was worth a darn, right? I mean, can we get maybe a camera that we can see with? I mean, we've got like all this different technology. Can I get a color camera somewhere? Which I try to see like UFOs and stuff. Like every plane has like this black and white grainy footage everywhere. We got to move on to our next story because of time, but this one right there, we've covered it a number of. It is so disturbing to continue to see this to happen, Anthony. Next story, it's one that we covered yesterday, but it is worth mentioning again. Yesterday, we talked about the obscene amount of tweets that Donald Trump is doing right now, and that weird one that happened over the weekend, which still has people their heads spinning. There's somebody who's like his great daughter, but it's not really his daughter. Well, listen, there's a brand new poll that has Donald Trump's approval rating at its lowest, 30%. Now, 2 out of 3 people say the guy is not doing a good job for the country right now. And I want to be fair right here. That is an outlier on a poll. But most polls average around 37 to 38% right now. And that is still extremely low. And if people are sitting out there and they want to defend Donald Trump, and you say, oh man, he's got a 36% approval rating, but he's still a great president because everybody else doesn't get it. You have to understand what the average American is feeling right now. And that's the economy, and by the way, the economy. All right. Like everybody is looking at this and going, you made us promises. You told me things were going to be better. We're going to win. We're going to win and win some more. Hey, you know what? It ain't looking that way right now. Yes, you finally got this Iran deal done, which is hanging on by a thread right now, again, because Lord knows us getting out of the Middle East be an act of God himself. All right. But when I look at this right now, you have to be real. You have to, if you're so far to the right that you can't see that things are not going well, then you're just ignorant. Like I can be a supporter of what the guy has done for the first 6 years, 4, and then the first 2 right here. I can like it, but I can also say things are not going well right now. The economy is not going well. This war over in the Middle East did not go as planned. And right now, the guy needs some wins, and he needs to stay off of Truth Social and stop with these weird texts that he has right here. Start answering some real questions to the American people and stop being so defensive because things are not going good. And when things are like this, you can't sit there and tell people it's going good, good, good. And then they're like, hey, man, it ain't. You can only do that for so many years or so many months to tell people things are great before they go, it isn't that great right now. So I would really caution those my far right guys, or if you find yourself like me, where you're middle right, I'm not happy about this kind of poll. I don't like it, but you have to be real about where we're at right now, because if we don't criticize our leadership, we don't get anything better. And I want to be the opposite way. I wouldn't say 2 out of 3 people are approving of Trump and this country is rocking, but it's not. The amount of uncertainty that is surrounding the economy right now that this administration is doing nothing to solve. They're behind the 8 ball when it comes to AI. And the messaging to the American people is pretty much non-existent. We need leadership right now, not somebody who's getting defensive over what they say, and a White House that is constantly on their heels trying to defend the next crazy thing that somebody is going to put out there. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm in with this, Anthony. When things are going good, the crazy stuff is funny. All right. And everybody likes it and it's cute. And okay, we're all good. And Trump meant that. And he's great. He's whatever. He's playing chess. They're playing checkers. Great. Things aren't going good right now. Now is the time, if you're Donald Trump, you got to buckle down. All right. Because the last couple of years here, this presidency, are going to determine a lot about your legacy. And us people, I say me, like a Trump supporter like I am, who voted for him twice, I want to see him be successful. And when I see this poll, I can see what a lot of Americans are feeling. And that is, I don't got any money and I don't feel confident that I'm going to have it. It's summertime, July the 4th. Right now is when Americans should be feeling good. They don't feel good. And these numbers reflect it right now, Anthony.
Yeah, I think he's just taking a lot of missteps with what he's been doing. Like, I think the war with Iran, maybe that would have been a thing he could have done 2017, 2016, and we would have supported it. But with AI and the layoffs they've been having, we're feeling a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah,
and so then having this war on top of that, having our gas prices, all of our goods going up, it's making us feel we can't pay for a lot of stuff. And so then having the UFC fight, all this stuff just doesn't scream what we want as a
it's not sound leadership to me. It's not consistent leadership. I hope he turns it around. I want him to turn it around. Like, but we need to start buckling down here as an administration. If you're him, let's go.
Mhm.
Now's the time. All
Yeah.
right. Last story of the day I want to cover right here, folks, is an interesting one. Hey, listen, if you live in Orlando, you're obviously spending a lot of time online. Folks, the City of Beautiful spent more per person on that website, OF something or another, than any other city in the country. All right. We spent 14.3 million in a single year. That works out to about $46 a person, everyone. It is the second most in per capita for the site in the entire country. So I'm not saying we spent the most, but per capita, per person in your city, Orlando is number two. 14.3 million people or $14.3 million. Unbelievable in a single year. The report comes from something called Only Guider. It's a company that follows people who go to this site, put down their credit card, and where they're from. Um, and it pours into this. It even pours into what this person asked just a few minutes
I
ago,
was just about
Anthony.
to say.
I mean, you've got Orlando that is just like pouring money into this online website right here. More money per person than almost any city in the country, only behind Atlanta. That's it per person. Now, are there other cities outside of it that have like a greater well, yeah, because they have more people in their city. But $43 on average a person Orlando is spending on the OF site. That's unbelievable. That's sad. But if you wanna know why that person asked that question, there's our answer right there. Because Orlandoians are spending a lot of time in front of that computer and not a lot of time frequenting downtown right now. This is an unbelievable number. The guy who started that, the billionaire who started that site, he actually was from Florida. He lived or I think it was Russia, but he lived in Boca Raton for quite a while. Then he died of cancer, actually, at the age like 43 years old. But this is just I mean, it's hilarious, but it's also sad.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spending the city of Orlando is spending $43 on average a person on on that site, let's say, on the site that everybody knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not talking about. Like what? In a single year? That's unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So no wonder nobody's going downtown. Everybody's just spending time hanging out on a website, watching videos or something.
Soon, I feel like Orlando might make an OF theme park.
I mean, listen, per capita, we're number 2 in the country in spend on this site. So they may want to be looking over here at Orlando as maybe an adult site that they want to get involved with. An absolutely crazy statistic. Folks, unfortunately, I have to cut the show right there. It'd be this fun one right there to end it. We got to get back to work over here and make some money. We appreciate y'all joining us here on the Patrick Carr Show. We'll be back tomorrow with a bunch of other interesting stories for you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see y'all very soon. I got to get that meeting over there.